Good afternoon. Talking all things triple PD today. And I've just come, like I always love to pop in and just see how everyone is travelling along. And I especially wanted to talk about emotions today. And, what are emotions? Emotions that we have inside of our bodies. Emotions are, things that bubble up inside of us. So, things that we see and feel that might make us like sad. So, often we can feel sad about our circumstances, sad about the moments that we are living with this triple PD condition, which is, we all know, extremely debilitating. And, sadness is an emotion, and it's also an energy. And the energy that is surrounded with that emotion of sadness is a very dense energy, and it keeps us really shut down. So when we feel sadness like that, the byproduct of that sadness can often be the physical response of crying, which is what people would see, like tears falling from your eyes, a sad expression on our face, which is what someone can see, and they're the byproducts that people see. But the actual emotion ourselves we carry inside our body is like energy, which is hard to sometimes understand and see. So other things would be like anger rising up deep from your stomach, where you're feeling that churning inside your belly, and it's like a roaring churn that just bubbles up, and you express that anger. And we've seen people who are angry wanting to lash out at other people. So when we see that anger come up, it's often expressed in really a really deep negative vibrational wave, like the way someone talks to somebody in a really sharp and toxic way, perhaps. It makes the person feel even worse about themselves. And if we're, locked up in an angry state all the time, that's causing a really deep negative vibration in our body. So anger obviously is something that needs to be released from the body, perhaps something that needs to be identified why it's stuck there, what's causing that anger to be there in the first place, and finding ways to release that from the body. But obviously, there's so many other emotions out there, feeling joy and happy and laughing. So, the other side of the spectrum of feeling joy or feeling happiness brings a more positive vibration to our body and to our feelings. So, like I say, emotions are everything, and it's energy. So energy, often people are asking me, well, how does energy work? What is it? How do you move it? How can you make it change how I feel about my triple PD? And so it's really about changing the way that the vibration in the body is sitting and allowing space to move those old blocks and those old negative life patterns that are keeping you blocked or keeping us blocked. And in my case, you know, there was some really deep-seated blocks there that were needing to be shifted and released. And, you know, allowing space for those new channels and pathways in our body to find more happiness and to find more joy and laughter and, you know, smiling and bringing that really beautiful energy allows us to be more connected to, you know, our universal source of energy. So I just wanted to bring a little bit of, you know, those types of ideas to you today, and just to see whether or not that sits with you. I'm also preparing a few things behind the scenes, but if anyone's really interested in doing some of the energy work that I'm promoting across both platforms here on YouTube and in Crown Revolutions on the Facebook and Instagram platforms as well. Hopefully very soon I'll have a one link that will work for me, and but I've got people contacting me in different domains, so this is all going to be wonderful. But in saying that, what I would love for you to watch out for is that I will have a spring sale coming up in September. So if you've been sitting on the fence and wondering, is this going to be something that you would like to try and haven't been able to, starting in September for a spring sale, I'll have some prices that'll go up for you that perhaps you might like to give it a try. So I hope all is well, and that you know, maybe if we can just do a little bit of work with yourself, and that would be, you know, connecting, you know, that mind and those beautiful thoughts, and placing your hand on your heart and bringing in that beautiful vibration of opening the channels from your mind to your heart, and, you know, feeling that wave of energy coming through and opening that heart space to allow more positive and more beautiful vibrations to come through, feeling that wave, allowing more joy, more love, and all of those things that lift our vibration. And, you know, if that's really difficult for you, just do, you know, a simple thing and ask yourself a question each day. What are you grateful for in this moment, or what are you grateful for today? Even if all of your symptoms are extremely debilitating, and I know that they can be, and they are, but just find something that you are grateful for. Is it, you know, that you have food on the table, or that you've got a bed to sleep in tonight, or that you've got some shoes to wear, or that you've own a hairbrush to brush your hair, or that you have a pet that loves you, or, you know, anything, just basically the most simple thing that some people just do not have. So I would love for you just to you know, hand on heart, what are you grateful for in this moment, and start to open up those lovely channels through to the heart space. Because when we're not in our heart, when we're not sitting in that heart space and coming authentically from that place, you know, and those channels are blocked, then we are going to be stagnant and stuck in trying to heal this triple PD. So, you know, it's about the neuroplasticity. It's about opening up the new channels and the new neuroplasticity channel pathways to allow greater space for healing to come in. So Anyway, hope you all have a great day, and I'll be back soon. Thanks for watching. Bye.